I thought Survivor Series was fantastic.
Okay.
It was a fun show. It was a nice big show. It started with an Ozzy intro package. I think they need to, apart from the wrestling stuff, I think they need to put the Ozzy thing to rest, man. I feel so bad for the guy.
Okay, I gotta say, like, this was like this is right up Hunter's alley, right? Like,
yeah, I guess so.
You got Ozzy going. You're gonna get Metallica. You're gonna get Motorhead. You're gonna get obviously.
Yeah.
This is all of his stuff. Iron Maiden. Already we're injecting the NXT-esque pay-per-view opener, right?
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. I very much enjoy this, right? Very cool. I did have a couple issues last night, with that said. I did very much enjoy the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But there was a couple things that took me out of it. We'll talk about this.
Okay, yeah. You want to go through it?
Yeah, first of all, you watched it live, obviously.
I did.
Your overall feel for the show.
I enjoyed it. A lot. There was a lot of high points, a lot of fun stuff. They did some interesting stuff. I like seeing the two rings, it just makes it more fun. But again, it's very typical of how we watch wrestling. Like, I had a great time. I had a couple of drinks. I was hanging out in my apartment. I had some delicious food. So I feel like the ante was upped a little bit,
Yeah.
If I was alone in a basement watching it on my phone.
On Twitter.
Watching it on Twitter, I feel like I'd have a different opinion,
I overall, I put out a poll on, not a poll, but I asked the question on Twitter. I was like, what did you guys think? Because I wasn't following Twitter when I was watching it. I've stopped following Twitter when I watch the show because I feel like it impacts my opinion of it when I hear other people talk about it before I actually, I'm catching up. So I was a little behind, so I didn't want to do it. But a lot of people, overall, people were very happy with the show.
Yeah.
They thought that this added an extra element of fun to Survivor Series, considering Survivor Series is the bottom of the big four.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah. The last major pay-per-view of the year.
Last major pay-per-view of the year. You have, the 5-on-5 concept kind of has run its course over the last 30 some odd years. And now they're injecting this element of war games. It was a success. Yeah. So we'll talk about how much of a success it was after the card. But financially, it was a success. Viewership-wise, it was a success. So let's go into this card.
So you had your opening War Games match. The Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and Mia Yim beating Rhea Ripley, Bayley, Nikki Cross, and the tag team champions Dakota Kai and Io Sky. Damage Control started with the advantage. This was a fun match. It's interesting. You know what always throws me off about these? The match doesn't officially start until everybody's in the ring.
Yeah, I know.
So why not just stand around?
Why not just stand around? Why not just be like, all right, guys, we're gonna wait. We're gonna hold it.
The match officially started almost 28 minutes in. Again, officially started, but it went on for another 13 minutes. So it was about overall, it was 40 minutes.
Yeah, the big story was Becky Lynch in this. Her return was the big deal here. They did a lot of high spots.
Yeah.
Do you know why they did so many high spots?
Who produced this?
I don't know. I have the list somewhere. I'll pull it up in a couple minutes.
Why did they do a lot of high spots, Andrew?
Well, all the footage that they have for all the previous for their packages is NXT War Games.
Yeah,
they don't have any WWE packages for this.
That's true,
and they weren't going to go to 1987 and put the old War Games because this is a very different conceptual match.
Dustin and Larry Zbyszko.
About 2 weeks ago, I was talking to somebody there, and they're like, "Yeah, it's been a little bit of a struggle with these video packages because there's nothing with WWE."
Right.
So they don't want to dwell on the past. Because it's all grainy and old. What are you going to do? You're going to show Lex Luger. You're going to show Sid. It's a very different
Surfer Sting.
Yeah. So what are you going to do? They made sure to get enough material for another year.
Smart.
Very smart. They did a very good job here. Io Shirai, Io Sky with a big high spot off the top. Bayley's leg drop. Such a simple move, right? But it looked fantastic. I loved it. I thought this match was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a good opener. Solid way to start the show, right? Up next, you had AJ Styles with Gallows and Anderson beating Finn Balor.
I like this match.
Really enjoyed the match, right?
People didn't like it, though.
People are dumb.
Do you know, it's so
Let me
wild.
say something about people. They're dumb.
They were like, I got so many messages, like people like, yeah, it was boring. I'm like, it wasn't boring. It was a really good match. Listen, dude, it wasn't a Tokyo Dome match, but it was a fantastic match.
Listen, it's still a dream match.
It is a dream match.
No matter what.
And they did a good job on commentary telling you the importance of this match, who they are, their relationship. Exactly. They brought up this is their second time facing off each other in singles competition. Yeah. The first one was for the British Commonwealth Championship. Yeah. And I was like, what a great obscure Michael Cole line that, this is to me, right? To me. And I don't know about yourself. That adds a little element.
Absolutely.
It's so stupid, right? It's a tiny little thing, but you're like, oh, crap. Okay, British Commonwealth. I got to know what that is.
It always does, especially it reminds me of the calls in the early 2000s and late 90s where it was he was in the best of the Super Juniors tournament in blah, blah, blah. And that would always make me want to go and get tapes of this stuff. And I think it's the same thing. If you're watching WWE now and you're like, oh, who are these guys? I like their chemistry. Oh, this guy had a faction in Japan, and this guy also was in the faction in Japan. And wait a minute, this guy was in a thing called Fortune? That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aces and eights.
Aces and eights. Oh, my. Oy vey.
Oy vey.
That's automatically the reaction, by the way. You ask anybody, and this is a real thing in wrestling, you bring up aces and eights, the automatic reaction is oy vey. Ask any wrestler. If they don't do it, they're not a real wrestler.
They're not a real wrestler. Yeah. They're not a real person.
It's not a real person.
I thought the match was fun. It was a good match. You had, I was fantasy tweeting yesterday, how horny would you get if it was AJ Finn, Jay White, and Kenny Omega?
Oh, dude, that'd be fantastic. What a great match.
All the Bullet Clubs.
All the Bullet Clubs.
Ronda Rousey with Shayna Baszler defeated Shotzi to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Not a good match.
Not a good match. I feel like they should have just put the belt on Shotzi. I kind of feel like she's way more over than Ronda.
Okay, so
talk to me about the eye makeup.
The eye makeup.
What's up with the eye makeup?
I don't know, man.
Again, not to poo-poo on wrestling. We try to stay positive. But that eye makeup is straight up whack.
It's the Nightman look.
It is.
It's Mac from Always Sunny as Nightman. It's that cat eye.
You are a top tier MMA fighter.
Why do you have
You're on top of the world.
It's
you
absurd.
have all the creative power of the WWE creatives behind you. Why? Do something cool.
I think it's like, hey, why do we did this cat eye look? And they're like, yeah, okay, cool. How about just just face paint, dude?
Yeah.
Just do like Hawk and Animal. I want Ronda Rousey with bonkers face paint.
She, you know what face paint she would,
the big spikes too.
Oh yeah. You know what face paint she would look good in?
What?
Darby Allin.
Darby.
If she just had the half a skull, she'd look rocket. Anything's better than those.
Can you imagine her on the skateboard too coming out? Whoa.
That would be
wacky Ronda Rousey with a half skull face paint,
just doing a half pipe. Listen, I'm well aware that this person can kick my ass 7 ways to Sunday, but then my last words will be, well, then I make him stupid.
I got to tell you though, who do you actually? MG, he's here. Let me ask you, because you did live commentary last night with Matt Ryan on the Matt Men page.
Disgusting.
What did you?
Wow.
Yeah, but he was so mad that you were on, dude. He was like, let Matt Ryan do it himself. He was so mad. Who was at fault for this match? You think it was more Ronda, or you think it was Shotzi?
Who's at fault?
Just the overall vibe of it. I just think Ronda's not over.
I don't know how.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just I told Matt last night, I goes, there's something not right. She's a killer, and she's not being treated that way.
You know what?
That's kind of how I look at it.
If Heyman was with Ronda, you know what? Ronda should be in the bloodline.
No.
Yeah.
Disagree.
Yeah. And I think she
disagree.
I think she needs to be in the bloodline, and she needs to be the top person.
No, if you're being serious, that's terrible. That's a Fonzie jumping the shark situation.
I'm not being serious. No, but she's a great example of overexposure hurts you.
Yeah.
And I think part of her issue was, she went on social media, and I think people bought into the work that she hates wrestling.
Yeah, for sure.
And for someone that said that she's never coming back full time, I mean, she's on TV quite a lot.
She sure is.
So, people got really worked up when she was doing it. And also, some people don't like her because of her political stance. I don't care. I don't care. I really don't. I care about what she's doing on TV. And this is not a well put together Ronda Rousey for TV. I don't think she's to blame.
Yeah.
I think you have someone like Ronda. You how do you not come up with the creative to make it work? I just find it to be strange that she's doing what she's doing. Now with the Shayna Baszler stuff, I think this is a good move. This was the plan in January.
Yes.
I think her and Shayna being teamed up, but team them up as killers.
Absolutely.
That's what you need because you rehab Shayna along with this.
You know what? And Shayna does the same thing with the eye makeup, but it works for her.
I don't know why.
It works because she's got that outwardly, like they pulled her back from being that comedy character and they made her more of like a brute force, right? And it works for her. Like that the dark eyes work for her. You know, she's got like a killer instinct on her. For Ronda,
I'm trying to cool you down, dude.
I need it. I'm turning red. For Ronda, I think, you know what, like put a little more creative behind her. And you know, I gotta say, my favorite MMA crossover is Paige Van Zandt. If we're comparing.
Paige Van Zandt?
Yeah.
By the way, Paige Van Zandt appearing live at Sapphire 39 December 16th.
I kind of want to go.
Do you want to go?
I kind of want to go.
She's just going to be hanging out and partying. Paige Van Zandt at Sapphire.
Wouldn't mind meeting Paige Van Zandt at all.
I had nothing to do with that booking.
Have Mr. Gonzo fly out for it.
Paige.
You know what? On second thought,
no.
Don't fly out, Mr.
No,
Gonzo.
don't fly out.
I just saw the interaction in my mind.
I'd get arrested.
Yeah. So listen, if we're gonna criticize any match, it would be this one. I don't know who's to fault. It just didn't work. I hope they rehab. Listen, I like Shotzi too. I just think that the chemistry was off here.
I think the chemistry was off, and I also think like there's a reason they put her with Shotzi. Shotzi's I think she's a consummate professional.
Yeah, but she's been there's been a little bit of issues.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I love the tank. Tank's awesome.
I love the tank. The tank got over. Mm-hmm. How do you not have the tank? Why did they take the tank away? Think about this. They're a merchandising machine, WWE. Mm-hmm. Everybody has to have some stupid gimmick that you're selling. Ronda has the Roddy Piper thing that's going, and they're selling a lot of those. Shotzi has a tank. How are you not selling tons of those little tanks?
Make the tank.
Make the tank.
Make the tank. Listen, WWE, make the tank.
Somebody, I brought up someone is like, why bring War Games in? Why bring it now? I'm like, dude, think about it this way.
It's fun.
It is one of the only pieces that they have not been able to merchandise on the main roster.
Yeah.
Because they've never done it. And you're leaving money on the table during Christmas time.
Oh man.
That you're gonna sell a bunch of these War Games sets. Mm-hmm. And people are going to love it. And somebody was like, Andrew, that's why they're doing it? You want to say? I'm like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying all these things come into account. Why the hell do you think they did a shark cage?
Oh, for sure.
Why do you think
multiple times?
Why do you think Braun Strowman was doing so many ambulance things
and some choo-choo shit too?
And well, you know what? I would love the train set, the Braun Strowman train set for Christmas. I'm over the Braun Strowman stuff. I really am. We got Roman Reigns confronting Sami Zayn about where he stood in the bloodline. They showed a backstage segment where Kevin Owens confronted Sami Zayn and pretty much was trying to convince him to turn on the bloodline before they turn on him. Sami didn't say anything. But was it Jay? Yeah, Jay Uso was listening. And Sami lied to him. When Roman confronted Sami came out and was honest. He's like, I didn't do any of the talking. I'm never going to turn on you, blah, blah, blah. And they gave each other a big hug. But Roman questioned at the end. Mm-hmm. Nice little smirk at the end.
Good. Yeah, Roman's great.
Roman's so freaking good. Unbelievable.
So after that little backstage bit, you had a triple threat match.
Okay, my favorite match on the card.
Great match.
Yep, loved it.
Austin Theory beating Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley to win the United States Championship. Quick match, 14 minutes.
They went a million miles an hour, too.
Million miles an hour. I think this whole match was Seth. I think this whole match was put together by Seth because he basically did a New Japan finish. Like, imagine if this match had another 45 minutes. Right?
Yeah.
Very Japanese style finish, but it was the 15 minutes of the match.
People hated the pin.
Why?
I thought it was really well done.
Great stuff. Theory looked awesome,
Theory
by
did.
the way.
You know, he's
Jacked,
getting there.
Big beard.
Listen, he has a look.
Yeah.
He's not the best worker.
No.
He doesn't need to be.
No, but they never are, right? Like your top guys.
Listen, yeah.
Technically, everybody is solid and has a great foundation if you're going to be on TV in WWE.
Listen, and he's
right?
young, man. He's young. He's very young.
They said the same thing about, guess who? Hulk Hogan. I'm not comparing Austin Theory to Hulk Hogan, but
he's just a look.
Not a good worker, right?
Not a good, yeah.
John Cena, right?
Not a good
same
worker.
thing. You can't wrestle.
Yeah.
Listen, this guy can do 3 moves. Boom.
Yeah, that's it. No, I think Austin's going to have a very successful career.
Yeah.
And they're very gung-ho on him. You know, everybody was they were like, oh, you see, now he's going to get buried. Triple H doesn't like him. I go, from the beginning of him getting signed, people were high on him.
That shit is all business. So people don't understand that. You can let a million things slide if you're making money for somebody.
Yeah.
Look at the Cody situation. Perfect example.
Yeah.
This dude showed up at a pay-per-view with a sledgehammer and destroyed a throne.
Yeah.
That was a dig at Triple H, right?
And what happened? He signed.
Flash forward a few years later, everybody's buddy. Listen, I'm going to make you money. Thank you. That's it, you know? And then your main event.
Your main event. You had the Bloodline with Jay and Jimmy Uso. Solo Sikoa. Why isn't he an Uso? I don't understand that. They tell you that he change his name. Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns against Rich Holland looks good. I'm getting, you know what? If there was one person that's getting over for me, like I've always been a Sami Zayn fan.
Yeah.
Rich Holland came out of nowhere, and I think he's doing a good job. Butch, Rich Holland, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and Kevin Owens lost to the Bloodline. 38 minutes, 32 seconds. What did you think of this match?
I enjoyed it a lot. I think they have done such a great job with this long-term Roman, Sammy, KO, Drew storytelling. You know, Jey Uso, Roman in the cage going, "No, it's your turn. Now you go. Now you go." You know.
Yeah, very cool.
Really, really good stuff.
It's like a mob, the mob boss in the cage.
Exactly. I think that's where they're going. A lot of Godfather stuff happening, right? He's the head of the table. He's the head of the table, right? Really good. How did you like the ending?
Is it true? What would you do if they did that?
Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. They're gonna have like a reveal moment, you know. But who's it gonna be?
Who's it gonna be? I thought it was a really fun match. They showed deception within the Bloodline with the super kick onto Sami Zayn, the accidental, and I'm using hand quotes for people listening, accidental super kick onto Sami Zayn. But the big story here was Sami Zayn was the hero for the Bloodline.
Right.
And essentially saved the match for them. I thought this was a very fun match overall. The match ended after Sammy officially turned on Kevin Owens and did a nut punch and a halva kick, as I like to call it. The halvas are delicious. If you have not had halva, you need to go check it out and buy some halva. Can we get a halva advertiser?
Oh man, amazing! We'll probably end up getting like a Toblerone or some shit.
And the Bloodline celebrated. Jay and Sammy hugged afterwards. I thought this was a very good Survivor Series. Now, I'm going to talk about some of my issues here before we go into the press conference. Listen, I'm going to nitpick here, okay? And call me an asshole if you want. But it is very bright in those WWE matches. Yeah. Like, it is super bright, super clean, not a scuff anywhere.
Yeah.
It looks Disney.
Polished, man.
It's very Disney-fied.
Yeah.
You know, I can't believe I'm saying that the high quality of WWE's production is actually taking away a little bit.
Too much.
Right? Like, am I crazy? Like, am I wrong here? And I want the chat to tell me if I'm wrong. I appreciate the high quality production, but like for like a War Games, dim those lights a little bit. You know, like dim them, make it look a little bit more dangerous. It looks like a play set.
Yes, but to your earlier point, it should look like a playset if they want to sell this thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's their approach. They're doing something a little different. But, you know, I'll give you a great example, right? The show started off, and I thought they did something really awesome. Michael Cole and Corey Graves standing by the ring, right? Not in their booth, but they're standing like a UFC production.
Yeah.
Like a combat sport. I was like, wow, that's great. They're adding that extra element here. And then you look at the cage, and it's like super lit, super clean mat.
Yeah.
You know, there's all that space. Just like, I'm not asking for blood. I'm just asking, play with the lighting. Lighting tells the story here.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're telling the story that this is a dangerous match because you can't do the blood. You're not doing the blood.
Right.
You're telling the story that this is really dangerous. You know what? Make it look that a little bit.
I agree. I agree 100%. But they're so polished. I think that's just like from a TV production standpoint, this is like the height of wrestling production on television.
Oh, it looks
you know?
it looks so crisp. It
Yeah.
really does. But like AEW has their blood and guts. The blood and guts looks a little more. I mean, it looks more dangerous in the story, in the psychological sense, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's a little darker. The cage is a little bit more menacing. I think next time they're going to probably have to do something a little bit to change the vibe, because it did look like that over the head shot.
Yeah.
Looked like it was a playset.
You need to at least have like one or two guys busted open in these matches.
They're not going to do it.
I know they're not going to do
They're
it,
not
but
gonna
I
do
feel
it.
like that adds to it. I think dim the lights a little bit. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Make it a little more dangerous. But again, that's from our perspective because we're a little older. Like an 8-year-old doesn't know the difference.
Yeah, because we grew up watching the disgusting, filthy mats and the broken cage and whatever. And I get it. Listen, we've evolved. It's gonna look good. It has to look good. But you could have done a little bit more. They probably will. They'll probably realize the same thing. I'm not the only one that thinks this way.
Yeah.
But that was just a takeaway from this for me. If I'm gonna nitpick anything, I thought it was a fine show. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, you could donate by leaving a super thanks, which is located below. For more videos like this, full episodes of the Mat Men podcast, all our specials and extras, be sure to like and subscribe below or wherever you find your podcasts.